Hello and welcome to Sproutlogic Gardening. My name's Mike. Raspberries are arguably one of the easiest things you can plant in your garden, and also one of the fastest ways you can lose control. There's a couple things you need to understand before you would think about putting them in the ground. Well, I'm breaking out the wheelbarrow. You know what that means, folks. We're planting something today. In particular, raspberries. So, when we talk about raspberries, how do you choose the variety of what to plant? And in particular, where are we planting it? In a container. Now, for container varieties, there are a couple that are actually really well suited. Heritage is one of them. Shortcake is another. In fact, Shortcake is probably one of the best. It's literally bred to be a container variety of raspberry. But you're probably asking, well, why would you not just pop it in the ground? Like most people just throw them in the ground, right? Let me put up a picture really quick to show you this guy. And what you'll see is basically that it's already putting out a sucker in the bag. That shows you how aggressive raspberries are. Now, I will put up another picture to show you my garden about a year and a half ago. I planted 2 raspberries and a blackberry. And so what you're going to see is they started off this small, and then they exploded to huge bushes that sent suckers out across my entire garden, into my neighbor's backyard. The one thing that people don't really consider with raspberries is how permanent they really are. This is something that expands rapidly and aggressively. That's how it survives in nature and can easily become a massive bramble in a year without any kind of constraints. Now, remember, I just said I cut this thing down about a year and a half ago. I still have suckers and shoots coming up to this day. Where it was traditionally was actually back here on the back fence. It's spread everywhere. So I still find suckers in the middle of the yard sometimes. So that tells you. My recommendation, start off in a container. You control the environment, you control the spread. Even in a container, it's going to send out suckers in that container that you would be able to take down and remove instead of having to worry about chasing them across your yard. So when we talk about planting raspberries in particular, there's a couple things to consider, of course, especially when we're talking about that container environment, right? So it's going to be all about that soil, and we should probably dive into the soil, and then we can talk about the container stuff too. So some of you might have seen my heather video where I use this particular brand, Coast of Maine Organic, and this is an acid-loving soil mix. This is going to be part of that soil mix, of course, I'm going to be using for the raspberry. It will not be the primary thing, of course. Raspberries love slightly acidic soil. They don't necessarily love being in completely acidic soil. There's a big difference there. So I want to mix a little bit of this into the main soil mix, which, by the way, is going to be simply potting mix. I'm going to do some compost in there. And then, of course, we got to talk about the structure of the soil too. And I'll give you a couple hints and tips what to look for, and I'll give you a little bit to kind of talk about some things to watch out when we talk about the composition and the structure of the soil. But this is one thing I think that's often skipped, and I will say is your number one priority. It's soil. Simply put, the variety is pretty important. What you get, the seeds. Nothing's more important than your soil. And as a gardener myself, it's one of my key passions. Stay organic. Don't get cheap fertilizer. Don't get heavy chemical fertilizer. Use organic things. And frankly, go slow release fertilizers that are organic. And also, even better, skip them all together and use compost. Now, I will be doing a mix in here because, again, with the container, raspberries are extremely hungry, so they'll need as much nutrients as they can. But if I had a choice and didn't have to do the slow release stuff, I would just go with compost. This is really overlooked, and I can't stress enough. Pick a good soil, build it right, and you'll always win when it comes to planting. Usually the number one problem people don't think about is the soil. They buy whatever they got. They buy the cheaper stuff, the stuff that's already pre-fertilized, and then their plants do meh, or they end up dying, probably related to your soil, right? So I want to talk about the structure of the soil. Now, how I'm going to maintain it is twofold. Now, this is orchard bark. Orchid bark. And so one thing to consider with this is actually what it is pine bark fines. It's basically very fine ground up pine bark. This is really good for raspberries and really good for that soil structure to kind of make sure that it maintains it without getting compacted, which is the one thing I'll talk about when we say a hint or tip, right? Compaction is one of the most major problems you're going to have in a pot. It happens in raised beds, it happens in in-ground beds, right? So we need to make sure that when you're mixing up the composition of the soil, that we do it in a way that's not going to cause problems, because that soil is going to settle And when it settles, it compacts. The roots will struggle to move, water won't move through there freely, and frankly, it just becomes an environment that's not going to be very successful for your plant. The next thing I'm going to use is perlite. So I'm using a mix of perlite and that pine bark fines to make sure that we're good to go. That's going to keep that very free draining and open. There'll be a little moisture retention, which is what we want, but we don't want it to be a swamp basically in that pot, which we know with containers, it's very, very easy to actually reach a point where they're just drenched all the time, and raspberries will not be happy in that type of environment. I think the next thing we should probably talk about is going to be that pot itself. Okay, so the container. This is another pretty important part of this whole mix, right? So you want to go with typically a 25-gallon container, and that's pretty big. It's going to take a lot of soil, a lot of stuff to fill it up. But again, really, really important. You start off with the wrong size. If it's too small, it's not going to thrive. It's going to do poorly. So you need to make sure you match about a 25-gallon, a little bit bigger, arguably, if you want to go like maybe 30. 25 is plenty, though. So a couple things to note with this container. I got plenty of drainage holes drilled into it. Has to be free flowing. I don't want water to sit in this consistently and make it soggy. So that's one thing to mention. And let's talk about the advantages of a container, of course. Those suckers are going to be contained. So they're not going to be shooting across your garden and coming up all over the place. You can move it wherever you want, which is another great advantage, right? Now, raspberries require full sun, so I'm going to place it on the north side of my garden once we're all done here. But again, I have freedom to move it wherever I need to go. If it's going to be a really bad winter or frost, which, by the way, you probably don't need to worry about too much, normally in a container, I could move this inside for that, or I need to wrap and actually protect it. One thing I should mention with that, right? Containers are more exposed to the cold. So even though raspberries may be really, really resistant to it during the wintertime and probably actually in fall before you actually, get prepared for winter, you want to wrap this in bubble wrap and make sure that it's really insulated. But the other thing to mention, because we're planting in a container, you have the complete freedom to plant this in the ground whenever you want. You have control. So it gives you time to establish it, see what you think, and if you find a spot that you like and that you think it'll thrive in, you have the freedom to put it in the ground. It's totally fine. The idea is to start off in a container so you control the situation. And for some people, a container might be the best option. It's going to be the best option for me. As someone who's maybe living in an apartment and have a little patio outside, they can pop a raspberry in there and enjoy a raspberry where they normally never would be able to. Someone who owns a farm or larger land, oh, they can put it in the back 40 and not worry about it, right? And that's an option too. So that pretty much covers the container. You can go plastic. You could even go clay. Plastic for me, it's just a cheaper option. Some of those clay pots and terracotta stuff is extremely expensive. So I decided to go with this. Got a good deal on it. But I think next we should talk about building that soil and kind of showing you what that looks like and then planting it in the ground.
I truly can't emphasize enough the importance of soil. So, of course, you see me basically gathering my tools and things and getting ready to do this. I'm starting off with that coast of Maine organic soil. That is going to be key to provide that acid we need for the raspberry. We're not looking to obviously completely make it acidic, but that's just adding a hint of acidity to help. And I'm using my regular premium potting mix that should be good for the container. It already has some draining elements built into it. You know, the amount of soil will vary, of course. For a 25-gallon pot, you're going to need a decent amount. So I'd say probably two larger bags. So those are a couple quarts each. But, starting off with the coast of Maine, that's going to be our main point to begin with, right? And I had about a third of a bag of that soil. And then, of course, we'll roll into the potting mix. Now, your potting mix is going to be important. Make sure it's something that, I tend to lean on things that have very little nutrients in them. And maybe a baseline, something small, none of that non organic stuff that we want to mess with, of course, right? So this has a little bit of compost in it. For raspberries, of course, we're going to have to consider, obviously, that there's going to need to be more of that in there. Raspberries are, again, a very hungry, hungry plant. They require a lot of nutrients, which is why we're leaning into putting more compost as well. So the idea behind this process too is complete control over the soil. I'm choosing adding a little bit of acidic soil in there with a potting mix, and then of course I'm actually adding in some additional compost as well. It's a great advantage, right? It's something I think a lot of gardeners will tend to overlook. When you control those nutrients and control those things, you know exactly what's going in there. You can set the levels and understand what that plant's going to be living in versus just sticking with one bag, for example, of something random. Now, compost, as you can see, is always fun to work with, right? It's typically very clumpy and large, and so having fun getting it out of the bag. But I'm putting a moderate amount in there. I'd probably say about a third of the bag went into there directly. The next part we're going to be addressing is going to be all about that structure of the soil, and that's the pine bark fines that you see me grabbing right there. That's something that is going to help make sure the soil doesn't get very compacted. It leaves it free draining and actually adds a little bit of a moisture retention element as well. It's kind of a double positive there. It makes sure that water doesn't sit around too much, but also retains a tiny bit and make sure the soil doesn't get really compacted or really tight, which would be a problem for our plants, of course. And then one of my favorites, I use it pretty much with all my raised beds and stuff, is going to be perlite. Really good to add some of that as well. The potting mix does have some in there, a baseline, but I want to make sure this is really free draining. I do not want any problems with water being in there, which will basically cause root rot and would, of course, would be the end of your raspberries if you allowed that to happen. So, we addressed basically the types of soil we're putting in there, the structure components. Next is going to be nutrients. And I have two things that I'm basically adding in there. This is a starter slow release fertilizer that works really well. I'm putting a decent amount. I would say if you were to guess the amount, probably one cup roughly, give or take. Because again, we don't want to go too crazy. We already have compost and other things in there. And the next one is this is a fruit tree fertilizer, but it also works well with bushes like raspberries and blackberries and stuff. And I'm going to go about a cup with that as well, give or take, to make sure that we have enough nutrients to supply it with what it needs. Now, funny thing, I actually ended up forgetting something really important: my gloves. Right? When you're dealing with like manure and compost and stuff, I would probably put on some gloves. Normally, I wouldn't mind as much, but what I have to basically do, and this is something I recommend you do as well, is hand mix your soil. A lot of times with soil, you get these big chunks that need to be broken down, and the only way to really find them and tell, get your hands dirty. So you see what I'm basically doing here is I'm hand mixing and tossing the soil. This is making sure that the nutrients and different elements are mixed properly, it's distributed correctly, and that drainage will also be addressed as well. The last thing we don't want to have happen in here is leaving big chunks of heavily compacted soil or compost, which is why I really can't stress this enough. It is so important to dig your hands in there, start moving the soil around, and making sure that there's no major problems. Another thing we're looking out for, a lot of times with these soil mixes, you're going to find big chunks of wood or sticks. This is natural, right? This happens during the process, and it's not uncommon to run into it. The advantage you're getting here is you can spot these things very quickly. And you can see, if you look really closely at different colors of soil, if I hadn't hand mixed this, that coast of Maine soil is at the very bottom of the mix, it wouldn't have been properly distributed. You can kind of see previously there was a light brown color. That was actually the mix kind of getting through there. This also lets me tell if I need to add something more for the structure, more pine bark fines or maybe more perlite. But I think looking at the soil, it's actually in pretty good condition. I'm very happy with it. And I actually think the raspberry will be very happy with it as well. So give it a good mix, continue checking for those big chunks, making sure that nothing's really big in there or something's not, that shouldn't be in there. Maybe a piece of wood or plastic or something. This can happen, it's natural, but of course, we're just making sure that none of that is going to be an issue when we begin planting this. So as a final checklist, what I like to also say as well is make sure that the soil is relatively damp. You don't want it to be super, super dry. Soil that's really dry will actually reject water most of the time. And what I'm looking for here is just making sure that that's not the case, that it is nice and moist and ready to go. So next step is going to be, of course, we got to begin actually putting some soil into the pot. I also do this by hand. I don't use a shovel. The reason being is I can really just kind of control how compacted it gets. I can kind of spot it by eye and see what we're basically looking for. And I want to make sure, obviously, that we fill it up. Now, when filling a pot, really important to mention, you want to take it up pretty much to the top because you have to remember that this is going to settle a little bit, and I might even need to add soil later on. But the next step I'll be doing kind of takes care of that problem and helps a little bit. And one final thing I forgot to mention before we jump to the next scene. Uh, One of the things with potted raspberries, you need to make sure that they have proper support. Like any raspberries, they need a trellis. And you'll see later on in the video, actually, that I am going to be planting this against a fence, which of course I will use string to tie the canes up against so they have that support. Otherwise, forget about it, it'd be flopping all over the place and wouldn't look too good, which of course we don't want to deal with that or have trouble harvesting as well. But yeah, that pretty much covers mixing the soil and its contents.
Okay, so soil's in the container, mixed up, good to go. You heard me talk through some of the methodology I use when creating this soil, specifically with the raspberries. And now, our next move, time to get it in the ground. It's going to be one of our final steps we obviously do in this process. And the idea is we want to make sure we plant it deep enough, right? And this soil is going to kind of fall apart, which I expect. And that's totally fine. I'm more concerned about maintaining the roots. As you can tell, a lot of extra soil in there to give it room to grow. Was basically waiting to be planted. So I'm doing this part with my bare hands. I tend to be very careful handling roots. Gloves tend to miss the mark on this. So let's see. Now we want to plant it basically up to about here, right? Where the roots begin and where it touches the ground. We don't want to plant it too deep. That will be a problem for the raspberry. So I'm lightly moving the soil around. And actually, yeah, I think this will do fine. There we go. I'm not compacting it down, just lightly pressing it. And last step is going to be mulch. You do want to mulch this. That maintains the moisture in the soil. The problem with containers, as we all know, they dry out very quickly. And boy, oh boy, does my dog love mulch, by the way. It's one of her favorite things to steal out of my garden and eat. But yeah, we'll go ahead and get this mulched up. And then we'll talk about final thoughts on raspberries. So, last considerations with raspberries. First and foremost, while it's in the container, you want 5 basically main canes. Don't let it go more than that. I know there's always kind of the idea a little more is better. Definitely not the case in the container. 5 will give you a good fruit ratio. Beyond that, it gets a little wonky. This will continue putting up suckers in the pot, luckily. So you'll want to go ahead and maintain those as well and cut them back when you see them if it goes beyond the 5 mark. Try to maintain an open structure too, right? You don't want this to be really compacted and tight. That'll cause problems later on. So if it puts up suckers on the outer rim, that's kind of okay. Let it spread out a little bit. Just keep it to 5. The first year, by the way, is going to be very slow for you. So don't get discouraged if you get very little to no fruit. That's okay. Remember, it's trying to establish itself. It's trying to get itself ready to go. So the following year, I should expect this to be really, really good. This year, maybe a little bit, not too much. And then, of course, lastly, make sure that after about 3 years, you're going to want to lift it up, break up the roots, redo the soil, and even actually probably after the first half, the first year too, you'll want to put maybe some slow release fertilizer on top. This has about enough nutrients for a year. So year 2, slow release fertilizer. Year 3, break up the soil, change it out, put it back in with fresh soil compost and all that stuff, and you should be good to go. Final step, we're going to give it a good soak in. Make sure that it's nice and watered and good to go. You see my mulch layer on top to maintain that moisture. And really, this should be all set. Well, I hope this video was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions or comments about raspberries in particular or anything else. And of course, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps my channel. We'll see you on the next one. Take it easy.